A big track meets big air. Coming up next, AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram. Round 10 from the big snow country in upstate New York. The points battle tightens up. Bar-to-bar, ski-to-ski racing action is straight ahead. Fans, welcome to Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino, site for the U.S. Air Force Snow Cross National in Salamanca, New York. Kate Osborne, Mike Schroeder, my name is Chris Hockey, bringing you coverage of Round 10 of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross. And let me tell you, it's been a fantastic season already this year, Mike, and I'm so excited to see what happens on this fast racetrack today. But before we do that, let's take a look at what happened in Round 9. Racing in New York. Into the turn they go. Lemieux is out front by a bunch right now. So fast on that Studboy hole shot. And Cody Camp doing all he can to try to reel him in. Almost 3-second lead, but the great battle on the tracks for second right now. Cody Camp and Tim Tremblay in a Pro Open qualifier earlier tonight. They were bumping and banging, and they're starting to get serious again, Mike. The lead for Lincoln Lemieux now up front. Your leader is down below 3 seconds. His teammate, your points leader in this series, Tim Tremblay, has begun to reel him in, Mike. Lincoln Lemieux's got to know that Tim Tremblay, the number 11, has begun to reel him in a big way. It's a 2-second lead right now with 5 laps to go.
Points championship, you have a red flag.
Oh! Lincoln Lemieux off his sled. A terrible endo. Sorry, Kate. Got a lap and a half to go for your points leader, and now your race leader, Tim Tremblay. Let me set the field. It's Tremblay, it's Hibbert, and it's Cody Cam, 1, 2, and 3. And there is your leader, and the red plate means he's your points leader, and he's got 1 lap to go, Mike. The flames fly, and the win goes to Tim Tremblay in Salamanca, New York. Your points leader will take the win. So after 9 events, here are your Pro Open point standings.
Tremblay's still out in front. Cam Hibbert made a little bit of ground up. Then you see Lincoln Lemieux. There's the top 10 in points right there.
Our points leader, Tim Tremblay, is with our Kate Osborne right now. Kate?
We're talking about this red plate on Tim Tremblay's sled. Now, that is one that you've earned being the points leader since Canterbury, but you've now really proven it that you deserve it after round 9 and taking home the win. How much pressure does it give you knowing you're the guy with the target on your back?
Yeah, I try to not put any pressure on myself. I just go out there, I give everything I have all the time. And I've been really consistent all season and finally got my first win yesterday, so that was good. But every time I go out, I try to give everything I have and not think too much about the championship. You know, there's still 3 races to go, 4 races to go, so I'm just trying to go out there and just take it all.
We are about to go racing. Your Pro Open qualifier is next. The U.S. Air Force Snowcross National. Round 10 of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram gets started right after this on the CBS Sports Network.
AMSOIL Championship Snowcross on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Ram Trucks, America's longest lasting pickups. By AMSOIL, protect your weekend. And by Air Force, aim high.
Welcome back to Salamanca, New York. It appears that everybody in the tri-state area has come to see the best show in the snow. AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram. Round 10 of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross. The U.S. Air Force Snowcross National. It's a great track. Let's go for a GoPro lap of the day, Mike.
It's a quick one. It lasts about 30 seconds. We go down the back stretch of the racetrack as we take and go into the FXR corner. It's got a couple of lines, as most of our tracks do. There you see you can go inside, outside. This rider's staying on the outside. Now, it's very rhythmic through here. You've got to really pay close attention so that you don't fall short. Again, down into the Ram corner. And again, 2 lines, 2 very distinctive lines. Couple of jumps here, and it brings you back to the AMSOIL finish line. That's a GoPro lap of the day.
It's a great racetrack. That's Mike Schroeder. My name is Chris Hockey. We're about to go green with the Pro Open qualifier.
Kyle Pulleen, Lincoln Lemieux, Tremblay. Man, this is like a final coming up here. It's going to be a fun qualifier to watch.
It certainly is. Kate Osborne's ready for it. She's down at the starting line.
Well, as we head into round 10 here, it's something to note that these guys have really been on the road since round 7 in Deadwood. Many of them actually taking another stop in Aspen for X Games. There's no denying that they're both physically and mentally tired right now. In talking with Tucker Hibbert, he was saying, well, you know what, it's what we signed up for. We know that this is part of it, which is true. But you can't deny that these teams and riders are both exhausted, many of them looking forward for their off time.
And they're racing in New York. A star-studded field into turn one, and Lincoln Lemieux gets the stud boy hole shot one night after separating his shoulder on this racetrack.
Man, I'll tell you what, that is a young man that is driven. We're going to have to watch him closely. Look at his teammate coming right with him.
Your points leader.
Shearing Speed Sports sledge, Tremblay and Lemieux 1 and 2.
Tremblay momentarily takes the lead. So now it's Tremblay and Lemieux 1 and 2 racing for the U.S. Air Force and AMSOIL as they head down the front stretch in front of this great crowd in Salamanca. Look at that.
Round 9, Tremblay on top of the box. His first win of the year. He's been consistently on the podium, but yet his first win in round 9.
Tremblay did go for the triples right there on the U.S. Air Force flyaway. Lemieux did not. Consequently, there goes Tim Tremblay. He's running away from everybody. Tremblay, Lemieux, and Cody Cam, then Tucker Hibbert. Again, these are our points leaders running out front right now in this qualifier.
There you see Tremblay going over just before they get into that U.S. Air Force section, down into the ramp turn, and then back across the AMSOIL finish line. And this is where they get set up and they go big, right here.
Over the AMSOIL finish line, here's your triples. Tremblay triples but keeps it low. Gets that sled on the ground as soon as possible. Chunky snow in that turn. Got a little loose, didn't he, Mike?
Yeah, and this thing, you know, they talk about this track, how, you know, it'll be soft, but yet it digs down. Once it digs down, they're going to get down to that harder, icier snow, and then it's going to get chunkier.
Coming up right now in third, you see the red sled. That's Cody Cam on the 53. Now, it's important for him to earn every point he can. As we came into this race, he was 22 points behind your leader, Tim Tremblay, in the season standings. So he wants to dispatch of Lincoln Lemieux and get up there and take points away from Tim Tremblay.
Remember, not only between the points that they'll get for how they finish here, but if Tremblay wins, he gets the 5 extra bonus points. So that, again, will take and put more distance between he and the rest of the field, and especially Cody Cam.
Cody Cam making the move on the outside. We'll see if he makes it here. Inside move. Wow. What was that?
He just found a line and jumped around the corner, and Cody able to get around Lincoln Lemieux into second place. So now he can take and set his sights and charge on Tim Tremblay.
Cody Cam goes Superman, and we go down to Kate Osborne on the side of the track. Kate?
In round 9, Cody Cam was saying that even though he got third, he felt he was kind of struggling a little bit. They're trying a different setup today, but one thing he did say that he was really trying to get under control, ironically, was his asthma. It was something that kind of kept flaring up a little bit throughout the races. So today he has a couple of things that are on his mind, but it looks like right now he's figuring it out.
Yeah, he's definitely figuring it out. I'll tell you what, Tucker Hibbert's trying to figure out a way to get around Lincoln Lemieux. Again, Lemieux out front right there for a while on the 13. Now he's dropped back to third, and Tucker Hibbert's trying to find a way around him as we are a little more than halfway through this race, Mike.
And we watched Lemieux. I mean, you just got to give him kudos for being on the racetrack. As we indicated in round 9, was leading in the Pro Open final, had a mechanical failure, broke a belt, and I mean, that sled dove in. That's the hardest off I've seen in a long, long time. Somebody coming over the handlebars, dislocated his shoulder, had it worked on, and is back on this racetrack today. Incredible.
Hibbert again with big air, and you saw a really hard landing in this soft snow right there. Some things you really got to depend on is the suspension of your sled on a track like this, don't you, Mike?
You sure do. And, you know, setting it up for a handling position the way that you want it to handle is so important. And, you know, every driver has a little different life. You watch Tucker, the way he's going through here, now starting to try to pick up the pace, be a little more aggressive. Tucker would nothing more than like to get around Lincoln Lemieux for that third position.
Absolutely. They're starting to get towards some lap traffic right here. And again, we're watching the battle for third. It continues to be Tremblay and Cam, but Lincoln Lemieux in the 13 is continuing to run third, trying to keep the T-train behind him.
There you see Lemieux, some lappers that they were working around. Tucker squares inside, stays on the inside line. Differential last time. Well, now it's about 4 seconds between Lemieux and Hibbert, so Hibbert's got his work cut out for him to try to catch him.
He certainly does. And up front, a guy who doesn't seem to be working at all right now. Tim Tremblay, as I mentioned earlier, currently your points leader, and he won round 9 on this very racetrack. Here in round 10, our Pro Open qualifier, he's dominating right now with 2 laps to go.
He sure is, and I should stand correct. Tucker Hibbert only 1.3 seconds behind Lincoln Lemieux, but you know, you look at your leader right there with the red plate, just, you know, laying down consistent lap after lap after lap. This is the same thing that we've seen from him last night. He was going to be in a battle with his teammate, and of course, you know, Tim felt really bad what happened to Lincoln, but went on to take the win. A good solid run for him in round 9, and now carrying over into round 10.
As the white flag starts to fly right there, we see that Cody Cam has reeled him in just a little bit. The triples right there as they head into the FXR turn for the final time. Not sure if Cody Cam's got enough room left on this race to reel in your points leader, Tim Tremblay.
Now they got about a half a lap left to go as they go through the Air Force flyaway down into the ramp corner. Boy, Cody pushing hard. I mean, trying everything.
And again, he's tripling where nobody else is, but they're out of the final turn, and Tim Tremblay takes the checkers. Your points leader takes the win in this Pro Open qualifier. Cody Cam comes across in second. Lincoln Lemieux will hang on for third. The T-Train Tucker Hibbert in fourth. And Kyle Pauline will run fifth in our AMSOIL Pro Open qualifier here in Salamanca. And they're racing in New York. A star-studded field into turn 1, and Lincoln Lemieux gets the stud boy hole shot. Tremblay momentarily takes the lead. There goes Tim Tremblay. He's running away from everybody. As the white flag starts to fly right there, we see that Cody Cam has reeled him in just a little bit. And Tim Tremblay takes the checkers. Your points leader takes the win in this Pro Open qualifier.
Hey guys, you were saying it may have been easy for him, but he is breathing hard coming into the finish. Now, I gotta ask, why did that look so easy?
I don't know, it's just all those years you practice and you keep doing like the same thing all the time, and I just guess like it takes time.
So here's how they finished in our Pro Open qualifier.
It was a great qualifier. Tremblay taking the win, so he gets those 5 bonus points over Cody Cam. Cam wanted the win, but he didn't get it. Lincoln Lemieux in third. There you see Tucker Hibbert in fourth, and the way they finished in the qualifiers.
Stick around, Pro Light Final and AMSOIL Pro Open Finals coming up. This is AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram on the CBS Sports Network. Salamanca, New York, the site for round 10 of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram. The U.S. Air Force Snowcross National on the CBS Sports Network. Kate Osborne, Mike Schroeder. My name is Chris Hockey, bringing you coverage of a fantastic day of racing. It's been great so far, been great all season. Mike, one of our top teams is led by one of your very good friends.
Steve Shearing has been a longtime privateer in snowmobile racing and has put together a great team in Shearing Speed Sports. He's got a great season going. Let's learn more about him.
Yeah, no, definitely, you need to be, in tune with your sled, and that doesn't always happen, so you have to be aggressive and make passes fast, but, hopefully this weekend we can get some good starts and get out front.
I just try to stay calm and think about the race, and my position's good, and I feel I can win for sure, so we'll go out there and give everything we have.
I sincerely believe Tim is going to win the championship this year. And what he's got for him, he's hungry. You know, everybody can work out, everybody can ride, but if you don't have that burning desire to be the best and get mad when you lose, you're never going to win that.
I think Steve, Shearing, and myself were a lot like each other because we really like to win and we have lots of passion in the sport. And we're just getting crazy about it when we're not winning. I think it's a team effort, and that's the team here, that everybody was working hard and they're really liking it.
Up next, the Pro Light Final from Salamanca, New York. It's the U.S. Air Force Snowcross National on the CBS Sports Network. Stick around. And welcome back to Salamanca, New York. The Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino, site for round 10 of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram. Yes, the U.S. Air Force Snowcross National. It's a great racetrack, and we're about ready for a great race. The Pro Light Final is next. We've got Kate Osborne, Mike Schroeder. My name is Chris Hockey. This race should be one for the record books. Let's take a look at how we got here. They're racing in New York, and the 765 gets out fast. That's Montana Jess. We'll give him the stud boy hole shot. Montana Jess, your leader, but you see right on his his tail. Travis Muller and a bunch of sleds behind him trying to reel him in. What a run through the whoops Travis Muller had, and he will take the lead momentarily. Muller to the lead over the Amsoil finish line, but here comes Montana Jess.
Bar to bar, down in the corner. Oh, little contact.
Oh my goodness, stay on it. Jess somehow stays on his sled. He loses the spot. In 2 laps, Montana Jess went from the lead to 5th spot. That's what happens in the Pro Light division. 4:36 is your leader. That is Travis Muller, and he's got 2 laps to go and a 5-second lead over Jake Ango. Down the backstretch he goes over the Amsoil finish line. The white flag flies. 1 lap to go for Travis Muller, who has been dominant in this Pro Light final tonight. The flames await the checkers in the air. Travis Muller, with no hands over the finish line, will take the win in Salamanca, New York. So much fun to see that win. Here's how the point standings look in Pro Light going into tonight, Mike.
And this is going into the finals, so this is including the points these drivers have earned during 2 rounds of qualifying. There you see Pelayo, still your points leader. Submovement and Gove up a spot. Wallenstein down. You see the top 10 in points right there.
And the people in Travis Muller's trailer still celebrating. Kate's with him right now.
The guy that was on top in Pro Lights in round 9, Travis Muller. Travis, you were saying that was such an incredibly meaningful win. Why?
It was, absolutely. That race meant the most to me, that win. Over the last course of 5 years or so, I've rode for a few different teams, and to be on our own privateer team this year, family run, it definitely felt the best to get that win last night after all this work and we've put in this year, and the kind of the struggles we've had. It felt good to put it all together.
So here's the starting lineup. We're about to go green, Mike.
Man, this is going to be so much fun. Look at that. 2 of the Levi Lavallee sleds qualifying 1 and 2. Benham coming off an injury on his Arctic Cat qualifies 3rd. There you see the top 10 in the front row.
In the back row, they made it in through the LCQ.
And there's a couple of people here that had to work hard. Look at that. Your winner of round 9, Travis Muller, had to come through the LCQ. He's in the back row.
Kate Osborne is at the starting line.
Well, this start line here in New York is really a fair advantage for all. It's longer, it separates these riders, and really any position can get the whole shot. Now, that's important to note with Pro Lights because the whole shot is critical, as this class is extremely equal in talent. Any given rider can win on any given day. Get this, in 9 events, we've had 6 different winners.
It's in the starters' hands. And racing in New York! Wow, the 75 timed the light perfect. That was Martin Mullen, but the 413 of Evan Dowd with the stud boy hold shot.
Yeah, Evan Dowd got out early on. There's a sled off on the outside, but boy, Evan really timed it well, got out early on, but now he's doing battle with one of the Arctic Cats, and that is Daniel Benham.
Over the Amsoil finish line, let's set the field. Dowd, Benham, Pelayo, then Zach Mason and Leo Patino. That's your top 5.
Jake Angove in 6th, then it's Mullen, Loretz, Coutu in 9th, and Montana Jess in 10th.
Over the Air Force rhythm section, your leader is Evan Dowd. The 413 was your second fastest qualifier. He's out of Longville, Minnesota for Team Lavallee.
He got a taste of what it's like to be on top of the podium in Deadwood. Could he do it again? I'll tell you what, he's been riding well. It'll be interesting to see if he can hold on here. Daniel Benham is charging hard, though.
And what a great thing for Evan to prove that not only could he do it at Deadwood on a small track, but a considerably bigger track. If he wins here again tonight, that's a fantastic thing. And right now, the lead is considerable. Look at that, Mike.
Yeah, he was about 1.8 seconds early on. Look at the battle a little bit further back in, though.
That's for second. That's Benham and Pelayo with the inside move. That Jimmy John sled is freaky fast, and it goes into second.
Benham right there, though. Watch him. Let's see if he comes back down underneath here and is able to make a pass. Pelayo, there's
he tries
Benham.
it.
Nope, not close enough. Pelayo had the line. Matter of fact, look at Pelayo. Pelayo went outside. Benham just kind of got tucked down underneath and got left there.
Now, Aki Pelayo sets his sights on Evan Dowd. We've got almost 13 laps to go in this feature, and there's plenty of time left for that young man to reach out and catch Evan Dowd. Can he get her done? We're about to find out.
Daniel Benham not letting him go, though, trying to stay right behind him. Benham only about a half second behind, and now even making up a little more ground. He is right behind Aki.
So it's Dowd, Pelaya, Benham, Mason, and Angove, your top 5, with Nicholas Lorenz in 6th right now. They are still bunched up behind them as you see them all headed down the front stretch.
Ooh, somebody off on the front there.
That might have been Mason or maybe Benham. I couldn't tell which sled it was, but
Now
it was one of our
Benham
top
is right
5.
there, so Benham's okay. It was back a little bit deeper. Could have been Mason or Angove.
It was Zach Mason.
Zach Mason.
It certainly was. Too bad. The number 1 qualifier into the night is off his sled. But there's Evan Dowd, his teammate, who continues to be your leader on the 413.
Now the interesting thing, is there a yellow there, or was he able to get cleared? I think he got cleared, so
yeah, he just
they're
went
able
through
to
that section of the
skillful
track.
racing.
Look at Pelaya, and he's reeled in Evan Dowd. We've got so much race left to go for the AMSOIL finish line with 10 laps to go, and Evan Dowd's going to have his hand full in a couple of moments.
That's a 1.2 second lead. They ran just about identical lap times last lap, but Pelaya has found a couple of places in the racetrack that he's just a little bit cleaner than what Evan is, and has been able to reel him in a little bit.
Very smooth through that section of the track is Evan Dowd. Aki Pelaya still continues to reel him in. Makes up a lot of ground in that ram turn. Now they head for the AMSOIL finish line. Another lap about to go in the books. 9 to go for Evan Dowd.
Look at the differential. Shaved off a couple of tenths. It's about a second. So Pelaya charging hard. Last time ran a 30.58 to a 37.55. So about 0.2 of a second faster as they continue laps around this very demanding racetrack. 9 to go.
Pelaya looks to the outside. Dowd to the inside. Pelaya tries to make a strong move. Can't work right there, but he reels him in a little bit more. Down the stretch they go. And there's the 177 of Angove, who's moved up now.
Oh, he's
to
on the
third
podium.
place.
Yeah, he got around Daniel Benham. So Angove now on the podium, and I'll tell you what, he really needs that. Look at Benham now between Angove and Nicholas Lorenz, teammates.
Mike, we've been talking about Aki Pelaya and Evan Dowd battling for the win, but Jake Angove might have something to do with it here before the end of it all as well. Look at the differential between first, second, third, fourth, and fifth on your screen.
And I'll tell you what, from first to third, even to fourth is only about 3 seconds. So very, very tight racing. And now here comes Nicholas Lorenz getting around Daniel Benham.
And that's the battle for fourth, and that one's far from settled as well. Inside comes Benham. He tries to take the spot back. He has it for the moment. Lorenz to the outside, tries to take it back as well. They drag race down the front stretch.
Yep, Benham didn't have the line. He went inside, just had to check up a bit to get the sled to square and turn. That allowed Lorenz to get around and position himself now in 5th place.
Meanwhile, back up front, Pelaya continues to try to chop away at that lead. It's Dowd, Pelaya, Angove, Lorenz, and Benham. In that order, your top 5 here tonight. There's your leader. Again, out of Longville, Minnesota for La Valley Racing. That is Evan Dowd.
In each of the camera shots, you can see when they show Evan Dowd, you'll always see the skis of Aki Pelaya just right there. Look at him on the inside trying to make the move. There you see Dowd inside. Pelaya goes outside and comes back in. Wasn't able to do anything there, though.
The battle continues between those two, and I'm telling you, Jake Angove is getting involved real quick. He just chopped half a second off that differential. But here comes Aki. He looks to the inside of the leader. Can't make the move there. 2 outside lines there. Here comes Jake Angove as well.
Man, you can throw a blanket over the top 3 here. Great racing in Pro Light Final. Dowd with about 0.8 of a second over Pelaya, but Pelaya charging hard. Here he comes again, going to try to go underneath.
Things are getting tense in the La Valley trailer. You can believe that. The leader continues to be Evan Dowd, the 413 with 4 laps to go. Can he hold off Aki Pelaya for 4 more?
Aki goes big into the corner. There you see Jake Angove. Angove staying with that battle. He's only about 0.8 of a second out of a 2nd place finish. And, you know, you look at Nicholas Lorenz, he's sitting in 4th. He's only a second out of a podium finish.
Outside comes Pelaya. Inside is Dowd. The move strong to the inside now for Pelaya. Dowd to the outside. They drag race down the backstretch.
Oh, Pelaya had position, but he didn't have enough speed to make it move. You know what? There may have been just a tad bit of contact there.
3 laps to go in the Pro Light Final at Salamanca, and this one is far from decided. Evan Dowd to the lead. Aki Pelaya tries to reel him in, and here comes Jake Angove.
Pelaya took the same line that Evan Dowd did. Let's see what they do when they go in the corner here, because this is where they've been swapping back and forth. Pelaia tries to go down underneath. Nope, Dowd's got it covered with speed. And look at Jake Angove. Jake Angove's now made up some more ground on Aki Pelaia.
2 laps to go for Evan Dowd. Aki Pelaia has tried outside. He's tried inside. He'll try the inside again. Can he make the move there?
Watching him as he goes still, and I can't believe he's not experiencing or experimenting with some different lines. That's what Jake Angove's doing, and Angove seems to be reeling in Aki Pelaia.
We are almost to the white flag lap. Inside comes Pelaia again. A bit of contact. Evan Dowd still leads. Heads down the backstretch. The AMSOIL finish line awaits. The white flag is out for Evan Dowd.
Boy, this lap is going to be good. Here comes Angove. Angove on the outside, going to try to come down underneath Aki. They're very close. Look at the drag race here. Does he get him? I think he did.
He got him. And listen, Jake Angove might have something to say about the win. Evan Dowd's got half a lap before the checkers.
Here comes Pelaia. Pelaia not happy right now as he's back now in 3rd place. Checkered flags are out. What a great race.
Evan Dowd has won in Salamanca, New York. What a race for Evan Dowd. He worked every lap to earn that one. Evan Dowd wins. Jake Angove all the way to 2nd, and Aki Pelaia will hold on for 3rd. 4th goes to Nicholas Lorenz, and Cole Coutu runs 5th. What a race in Pro Light. We'll come right back and talk to our winner. You're watching the U.S. Air Force Snowcross National from Salamanca, New York on the CBS Sports Network. That was Martin Mullen, but the 413 of Evan Dowd with the stud boy hold shot. Look at Pelaia, and he's reeled in Evan Dowd. We've got so much race left to go for the AMSOIL finish line with 10 laps to go. Pelaia looks to the outside, Dowd to the inside. Pelaia tries to make a strong move. Can't work right there, but he reels him in a little bit more. But here comes Aki. He looks to the inside of the leader. Can't make the move there. 2 outside lines there. Here comes Jake Angove as well. The leader continues to be Evan Dowd, the 413 with 4 laps to go. Can he hold off Aki Pelaia for 4 more? Jake Angove might have something to say about the win. Evan Dowd's got half a lap before the checkers.
What a great race.
Evan Dowd has won in Salamanca, New York.
He came in here saying that was tough. Wow, to say that you worked for that win is an understatement, Evan. Incredible race. You were able to hold off all the guys. How did you maintain knowing that there was so much pressure from behind?
I don't know. it was insane. I felt Nick or someone was on my tail the entire time, and I had to keep my eyes forward. I said literally every single whoop, I was like, breathe, 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 breathe. just trying to keep going.
Great race and a great win for Evan Dowd, Mike.
That's a big win, you know. You take a look at the last 4 rounds. He's been on top of the box twice. That's huge. Jake Angove, another big finish. He needed that, and of course, Pelaia, he's consistent on the box.
Just like always, the points still in doubt. They moved around quite a bit after tonight's race.
Yeah, look at that. Evan Dowd up 2 positions. Danny Poirier goes down 1, and of course, Ty Fair, who's been benched literally for a couple of rounds, down another spot.
So that was the Pro Light Final. You ain't seen nothing yet. AMSOIL Pro Open is next on the CBS Sports Network.
AMSOIL Championship Snowcross on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Ski-Doo Snowmobiles. What matters is what's next. By Arctic Cat, share our passion. And by Polaris, terrain domination.
And they are racing! Into turn 1 they go. Tucker Hibbert to the inside with the stud boy hole shot, and he holds off Cody Cam. Hibbert and Cam on the inside over the AMSOIL finish line. Both guys with big air. D-Train continues to lead, followed by Cam, then Todd, then Lincoln Lemieux and Elias Ishuel. Watch this move right here. Outside, inside comes Cam.
Yes,
he made a move.
Oh man,
this
right
is
here.
great racing, and what a confidence booster for young Cody Cam if he can hold off the T-Train.
5.
Instead, it goes to Cody Cam. Checkers in the air, and Cody Cam will win. So these are the points so far heading into tonight's Pro Open Final.
You know, you look at Tremblay with that win. We talked about the 5 bonus points. Now his spread 28 points. Elias Ischel making a move, though. He's breaking the top 10. There you see the top 10 in points.
So here is your starting lineup for tonight's Pro Open Final.
Tim Tremblay, your points leader, qualifies number 1, but because of the inverted lineup, he'll have number 9 draw in the front row.
Here's your back row.
Elias Ischel, Kyle Pauline. That's kind of a surprise. There's the 4 in the back row.
Kate Osborne is down at the starting line. Kate?
Well, obviously, snowcross racing is an individual sport, but it's also no doubt a team sport. And what happens when one of your biggest competitors is also your teammate? Well, I was talking to Lincoln Lemieux and Tim Tremblay earlier, and I asked them what were the others' strengths. Well, Tim said, you know, that Lincoln Lemieux, he is very smart. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and he races his own race. He's dedicated and hardworking.
And they're racing in New York. Into the turn they go, and Tucker Hibbert got the stud boy hole shot.
Oh, I tell you what, they didn't want to see this. Tremblay and Lincoln Lemieux trying to go with them.
Wow, outside, who is that? Is that the boss?
Ross
Martin?
Ross Martin trying to go with him, too.
The T-Train's going for 125 tonight, and he's got the lead on the first lap. It's Hibbert, it's Martin, and it's Lemieux. 1, 2, and 3 right now. Martin to the outside, Tucker to the inside. Down the stretch comes the train.
T-Train out front. This is where he likes to be. He's got good visibility, doesn't need to worry about anyone in front of him until he gets in the lappers. And usually by then he's put quite a distance between he and the rest of the field. So T-Train out in front. He's already got a couple of seconds in hand over Ross Martin and the rest of the field.
Incredible. You know, the one thing, if you're another competitor in this race, you do not want to see is the whole shot go to Tucker Hibbert. Not only did he get it, he ran away from him after the start. Tucker Hibbert way out front already.
You know, and Tucker always talking about Speedworks as one of the big sponsors. Steve Houle is able to put a clutching package in that sled for hole shots like you would not believe, and it paid off for Tucker that time. Big, big, big lead for him.
So it's Hibbert, Ross Martin, Lincoln Lemieux, and Ryan Springer. Second, third, and fourth is the battle, as will be fifth in a moment as Adam Renheim comes into the picture. But it's Hibbert, Martin, Lemieux, 1, 2, and 3 right now.
You said Springer and Renheim. Tremblay sitting in 6 and Cody Cam in 7. So those guys back in the field a bit. They're going to have to work their way some very, very challenging traffic.
Tucker Hibbert on the 68, though. Our 10-time and defending champion. If he wins tonight, it will be another record. The first to 125 ever would be Tucker Hibbert. And look at how fast he is. As you said earlier, Mike, he's out front. Nobody throwing snow in his face. Nobody slowing him up. He can pick whichever line he likes, and that means the T-Train almost unstoppable.
He is. You watch him as they go around here. We watched the interval last lap, and now it's almost 4.5 seconds. So while these guys are beating each other to try to make passes further back in the field, you know, Tucker's got the luxury of really seeing what he's doing, where he's going, and able to take and make some good lines.
And Cody Cam, as you're seeing on your screen, has made his way up to 5th, and he's quadding this in particular jump right here in a big way. And you see now Renheim does it as well. There's a yellow on the track, though, right there. We're not sure why. That might have been Ischuel. I saw standing on the track waving the racers around his sled. We'll find that out in a moment. But again, that's the battle right now between Cam and Tim Tremblay. And let's talk about the points battle, because that's second and first in points right there, battling for a spot on the racetrack.
Boy, look at Tremblay just trying everything he can do to try to get his T underneath there.
So that's the battle for 5th and the battle for the lead in the points as well.
Yellow's still waving in part of the racetrack there. We're not certain why.
It's continuing to be Hibbert, Martin, Lemieux, 1, 2, and 3. But the battle right now is between Tremblay and Cam for 5th.
Tremblay trying to find that line underneath. There you see Cam going high side, then back down. Tremblay staying low side. Oh, he got him!
He forced the issue and got him.
He did. He really pushed the issue there.
And now inside comes Cam, and he'll try to take the spot back, and for the moment he's got it. Can he hang on to it? Outside line for Tremblay. Now they'll drag race towards the Amsoil finish line. No contest. Cam takes the spot right back.
Boy, and that was clean. I mean, you know, just that Tim went outside. I thought Tim may have been a bit faster on the outside. It didn't work that way. And Cody Cam able to reposition himself back up into 5th spot.
So it continues to be Hibbert, Martin, and Lemieux. Ryan Springer in 4th right now, and Cody Cam in 5th, as we've got 13 laps to go in the U.S. Air Force Snowcross National.
Boy, the differential now between Tucker Hibbert as we watch Cam and that battle back there for 4 and 5, or rather 5 and 6. Tucker with about a 6.5 second lead on the field. There's Springer right ahead of Cody Cam. Springer sitting in 4, so those two Polaris is running 4 and 5. Tremblay trying everything he can to try to get that number 11 Skidoo back in this battle.
And what Cody Cam knows right now is that another spot is another few points on Tim Tremblay. So he's trying to get around Ryan Springer. Looks to the inside of him right there. He'll try to drag race him towards the Amsoil finish line right now.
And we know that Springer has been real strong on that Polaris as of late. So Cody trying to find a line here. He's going to try to probably come back on underneath. No, he stays topside.
Has to check up a bit. Springer goes outside. Now Cam inside. They drag race towards the Air Force Flyway. Big air for both these guys. Coming into some lap traffic right there. Springer has to change his line. Cam comes underneath it.
You know, and it was interesting to see if Ryan was going to stay outside with those lappers. They both had to go inside. That gave Cody and Tim Tremblay an opportunity to make up some ground on Ryan Springer.
So Cam looks to the inside again. Brakes hard. There's Tremblay, as you mentioned. Now Springer to the outside, and Cam to the inside takes the spot. So now Cody Cam into 4th and sets his sights on 3rd for the moment. Here comes Springer trying to get the spot back to the outside. Can't make the move there. Cody Cam away clean. Here comes Tim Tremblay to try to take that spot from Springer now.
And Springer went outside. Here comes Tremblay. Look at this drag race. Now Tremblay's got position going down in the corner here. Let's see what happens in the FXR corner.
Oh, has to brake hard.
Everybody braking hard.
Back up front though, Tucker Hibbert. A sizable lead over Ross Martin with 9 laps to go. Ross Martin has not gotten to the Amsoil starting line yet, the finish line yet.
And this lead is just incredible. 9.5 seconds is what the lead is now between Tucker Hibbert and Ross Martin and the rest of the field.
Hibbert just lapped the 10th place racer, Corin Todd. That's how far in front he is.
Oh,
Wait, we got a sled off right there. Not sure who that was. We'll try to let you know momentarily. So there's the 68 of Tucker Hibbert way out front. Again, the 10-time and defending champion. Mentioned it earlier, I'll say it again. This would be win number 125 in his career. An incredible feat. Tucker has to slow down just a bit for lap traffic. You see right in front of him right there, that's Peter Narsa, the number 54. That's the 9th place rider right in front of Tucker Hibbert. You want to find out how fast he's going? Just think about that. He's about to lap the 9th place rider.
Yeah, he's just about got half the field passed here.
Okay, something happened to Cody Cam. Looking at our telemetry, Cody has dropped down to 8th place. I wonder if that wasn't his sled we saw sitting on the side of the track back there. So now it's Hibbert, Martin, and Lemieux, 1, 2, 3.
And you've got Tremblay, Ryan Springer, Adam Renheim, Kyle Pauline in 7th, Cody Cam in 8th. So you've got teammates again battling for a podium position. Be interesting to see how Tim Tremblay and Lincoln Lemieux battle here. There you see 2nd place, that's Ross Martin.
Ross Martin on the 837. Ross was our 10th qualifier out of Burlington, Wisconsin for Polaris, Amsoil, and Jack Links. Right now, he's 8 seconds behind Tucker Hibbert and 3 seconds in front of Lincoln Lemieux, who might have his hands full with his teammate momentarily here. Tucker, I should say Tim Tremblay, your points leader, sitting in 4th, about 4 seconds behind him.
I was going to say Lincoln still got 4 seconds on Tim, but of course we've seen that last night too. 5 laps left to go here. Ross continues to make circuits around the racetrack, and tell you what, there's just no way these guys can catch Tucker Hibbert.
And let me talk about this guy once again. In round 9, Lincoln Lemieux was leading, crashed hard when a sled malfunction happened, endowed, separated his shoulder. And we thought, well, that'll put him out for a while. Not only did it not put him out, it didn't put him off the podium in round 10. Right now, Lincoln Lemieux is running 3rd. Let's go down to Kate Osborne with a little bit more about Lincoln.
I saw Lincoln this morning as he was walking through the pits, and I said, hey, you gonna try and get out there? You know, just thinking he may or may not. And he was like, try? I'm gonna get out there and race. race to win. And that's the kind of determination Lincoln Lemieux has.
Absolutely. And Kate, I remember when you asked him earlier tonight on camera as he was doing introductions, what's the thing you're trying to accomplish tonight? He said, I hope my shoulder stays in place tonight. That's not too much to ask. So not only is he doing that, but he continues to run third and find his way to the podium, which would be a huge accomplishment after round 9. Lincoln Lemieux.
Lap starting to count down, 3 to go. Tucker Hibbert still out in front, about a 10-second lead over Ross Martin. Lemieux sitting in third. There you see T-Train working his way around the corner.
Jimmy John's sled back there, I believe, just
Adam
crashed
Renheim.
behind him. Renheim was running 6th at the time. Yep, there's the Jimmy John sled. They'll get him righted as we are now 2 laps to go. 2 laps away from win 125 for Tucker Hibbert. The stud boy hole shot and a dominant race so far for the T-Train. Into the Ram turn on the Ram-sponsored sled. Headed for the white flag. 1 lap to go. 1 lap for the record books.
Boy, he's looking so smooth, too. You know, and he knows, you see Robbie is one of his pit members there holding the board out, kind of letting him know where he's at, what kind of lead he has. He knows he's got 10 seconds in hand here, but yet, you know, going to make a good run, doesn't want to change anything major, makes his way around, and here's Lemieux. Lemieux starting to make a run now on Ross Martin. That's only 1 second between them.
That's the battle for second, and the checkers in the air. Win 125 goes to Tucker Hibbert in Salamanca, New York. But the battle for second rages. It's a drag race to the finish line. Ross Martin will hold off Lincoln Lemieux for second place. 125 feature wins for that man right there, the T-Train, the Dominator, Tucker Hibbert. It's the U.S. Air Force Snowcross National, AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram on the CBS Sports Network. And they're racing in New York. Into the turn they go, and Tucker Hibbert got the stud boy hole shot. T-Train's going for 125 tonight, and he's got the lead on the first lap. The one thing, if you're another competitor in this race, you do not want to see is the whole shot go to Tucker Hibbert. Not only did he get it, he ran away from him after the start. Tucker Hibbert way out front already. And the checkers in the air. Win 125 goes to Tucker Hibbert in Salamanca, New York.
Well, he has done something that no man has done before in snowcross. You just took your 125th win. Congratulations, Tucker. And what a way to do it in such a dominant fashion from the whole shot to the end of the race. For you, what does this mean for you and your team?
It's awesome, you know, to get any win is special, and to have 125 of them is 125 times as special. So it's a lot of fun to celebrate with the guys after the races like this. You know, that race was relatively easy, you know, getting that start and being able to charge the laps I wanted to is fun. It's the way I like to ride, but I struggled a little bit in qualifying. I struggled all weekend, but feeling good again. You know, I gotta figure out how to hit my marks every time I'm on the track.
Well, it was quite a dominating performance from the T-Train, Mike.
You know, he got the whole shot. We know that when Tucker gets out front early on, he is extremely, if almost impossible to catch. But you've got to look at Ross Martin and Lincoln Lemieux. What a finish for the top 3. There you see the way the top 10 finished.
Our points leader got 4th, Cody Cam 6th. Here's how the point standings sit right now.
Well, Tremblay, he actually lengthened his lead. Cody Cam, not a good finish in the final. That hurt him a little bit. There you see the top 10 in points.
That's 10 races. We've got much, much more. Follow us everywhere. Snowcross.com, on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitter machine as well. We're coming to a city near you. In fact, we go to Mount Pleasant, Michigan next, then Dubuque, Iowa, and then we wrap things up in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. But you can always watch us from the comfort of your own home. Here's our television schedule on the CBS Sports Network. Make sure you tune in and watch week in and week out right here on your home for all the best sports. I want to say thank you to everybody out there. For Mike Schroeder, Kate Osborne, and our entire crew. My name is Chris Hockey. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.